Welcome back to the channel The Growing Developer, and this is a brand new video where I'll be covering the latest widget that was introduced in Flutter 1.17 by the Flutter team. If you don't already know, Flutter has released 1.17 version. It is stable now. It's been only some days since its release. Now I'll be showing you how to implement one of the latest widget, that is navigation rail. Yes, this rail that you see here is what we call the navigation rail. Previously we need to make it very customized using some containers and all the icons and stuff. Now we have a dedicated widget for the same, and so without wasting any time, let's see how we can implement navigation rail in our application.
The Growing Developer.
So this is the demo code that I wrote for this demo application. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove everything. Yes, so I'll remove everything from this body part, and there you go, and I'll remove everything. So just to save some time, so what I have is just a scaffold with an app bar. So we don't have any explicit parameter for the navigation rail. By explicit parameter I mean that we have a parameter known as drawer if we need to add any drawer. So the navigation rail is not something like a drawer, right? It is something that you can add anywhere in your UI. So write down in the comments if you want me to implement the navigation rail in different types, or use it to implement some kind of UI. So yeah, comment section is all yours. So let's quickly write. In the body part, we'll write a row, right? Inside this row we have a children, and the first child would be our navigation rail, right? Navigation rail, and the second child would be expanded widget. Inside that I'm just gonna pass a container, right? That's it. Now this navigation rail takes up some required parameters. What are the required parameters? Let's see. The parameter destinations is required. The parameter selected index is required. Now what does this parameter do and what does they mean actually, right? So let's first write the selected index. In an array, in a list, the index starts from 0. So given that we have 10 elements in a navigation trail, so the index will start from 0 to 10. And each time a new navigation item, a new icon is pressed, I want the index to be updated. So I'll show you, don't worry. Till that time, let's give the value as 0. And next is destination. This destination takes up a list of navigation rail destinations. Now this navigation rail destination will take up 3 of the parameters, out of which label is required and icon is required. You can't skip any one of them, right? And so we'll quickly add an icon. The icon would be, first one would be like home, right? And then we have the label. So the label would be home, right? You can't skip any of these parameters. You have to give both of them. Thing is that you can't have one navigation rail destination. You need to have at least 2 navigation rail destination. That's the certains that the Flutter team has put. So we'll write navigation rail destination. This time our icon would be more kind of, I can say, let's stick with bookmark. So do we have? Yes, we have bookmark border. And then as the label, let's give it a bookmark, right? So that's it. And let's save it and see what happens. So if you save it, you can see that we have our navigation rail here. Why you're not able to differentiate between the rail and the container is that this container is having some transparent color. So let's give it some color. I'll give it a gray color so that you can see that we have the navigation rail. There you go. You can see that we have implemented the navigation rail. Now if I tap on any of the icons, it will not get updated and it will throw some kind of exception. Let's see. So if I click it, it says that null call was called on null. That means we have not implemented one more parameter, one more callback. So we have on destination selected. Whenever this destination, now these icons are known as destination in the navigation rail. So whenever this new icon is selected, I want to call it. I want to, you can say that I want to toggle the selected index. So it will give an index as the parameter, right? So we'll get the index as a parameter. What is this index? The index at which you tapped. Suppose there are 4 elements, and if you tapped on the 4th element, you will get 3 as a result, right? So in selected index, we just gave a random value. So every time, yes, every time you tap any of the icon, you want the selected index to be updated, right? So let's quickly create a new variable. Selected index equals to 0, right? This is initial value. The selected index would be by default 0 value, and here I'll pass selected index. Okay, now understand this. When the selected index value will be 2, the selected index would be 2, right? So what I'm going to do is, whenever this button or this icon is tapped, I want the selected index value to be updated. So I'll write in set state. Why? Because I want the UI to be updated as well. I'll write selected index equals to index. Okay, what is the selected index? This selected index is the index that we just created, an integer value. What is this index? This index is the value that we'll get from this navigation rail when it is tabbed. Let's save it and see. Now you can see that we are getting the selected index updated. So when I tap on this this icon, it gets updated, and now when I tap on this icon, it gets updated. Okay, now let's add some color to the navigation rail. So to add some color to this navigation rail, we have a property known as background color. So I'll give it a color of gray, a darkish gray. So I'll use the 900 shade. So you can see that we have the color to it. We can always customize these labels and text as well. So what I'm going to do is I'll write selected icon theme. It takes up icon theme data, and inside that you can see we have a color property, and I'll set as colors.white, right? Save it, and now when you tap it, you can see that we have the white color as selected. Okay, now you can see that we gave some label to it, and we can't see the label. Why? Because it is hidden, or you can say that we need to enable it. So we have the, I guess, what do we have? We have a label type, right? What kind of label do you want? You can choose from either to show the labels on each icon, or to show the labels only when the icon is tabbed, right? I'll show you. So we have the navigation rail label type dot selected. Save it. Now you can see that when I select any of the destination or any of the, you can say, icon, then only I can see the label. You can select it as all. Now you will get the label on both of them. If you select it none, then you will not get the label. By default it is null, none. So let's stick with selected right now. And for that we have our label theme as well. Selected label text style. It takes up a normal text style parameter, and we can write the color as, wait a minute, yes, we can write the color as white and save it. Now if I select it, you can see that the text color is white now. So that's how you can customize each of your labels, each of your icons in them. And next thing is to add something, right? To change this stuff here. So as a child to it, in center, I'll pass a text widget, and I'll write selected index is the value of our selected index variable. If I save it, now you can see that we have got the selected index. If I press on this bookmark icon, you can see that now selected index has changed to 1. So that's how you can change. Instead of this text, you can write different widgets. You can add different screen, and based on the index you can change them. You can also use page view for this to control, to add some animations when I go up and down. I'll tell you how to implement the page view in the next video. That's the sneak peek for you. In the next video, I'll be explaining about the page view and the page view controller, how you can scroll between pages in your application. Let's move forward. We have leading parameter, we have trailing parameter, and that's the parameter that we're looking, extended, right? If I set the value of extended as true, okay, now we get some error that this needs to be null. This need to be selected as null. Now save it, and you can see that the rail is now expanded. Okay, now next thing, I want this navigation screen, this navigation panel to be expanded programmatically or whenever I tap on the rail. For that, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a boolean variable extended and name it as and initialize it with false value. Initially it is not extended. Now for the navigation rail, I'm gonna wrap it with gesture detector, right? On tap, whenever this rail will be tapped, what I'm gonna set, I'm gonna set the value of extended to not extended. Okay, this way you can very easily write or toggle between the values true and false. If the extended value is true, it will be turned into false. If the value is false, it will be changed to true, right? And in extended, I'm gonna pass extended. Now let's restart this application, and you can see that now by default initially extended value is false, so extended value here is false, so this rail is not extended. But when I tap on this rail, the extended value will be changed to not extended. That means from false to true. Okay, let's tap it. Now you can see that this is extended. Now if I tap on it again, the value will be changed from true to false, so it will not be now extended. So that's so these are the different parameters that you can have in the navigation rail. And if you like my contribution to the YouTube channel, if you like the content, you can always support me through Patreon. If you use Patreon, go and support me on Patreon. All the links are in the description. I'll be uploading many posts in the social platform as well, where you get the sneak peek of the latest features of Flutter, because I can't make a video of every concept, right? So I'm trying my best to cover all the concepts. But and I'm right now working on the website for our YouTube channel, so I'll upload the blogs, the written tutorials on that as well. So thank you all for watching this video. Hope you like this video, hope you learn something from this video. Please write in the comments how you want me to please write in the comments if you want me to implement the navigation rail in different UI, and if you want me to cover all the features, all the new features that are added by the Flutter team in Flutter 1.17. And thank you all for watching this video. Hope you are having a nice day, hope you are having a nice time. Goodbye.